Arabic roots are the bedrock of derived forms. From a string of 3 consonants with no specified short vowels, we form words based on specific patterns, which indicate some aspects of their meanings. Once you memorize the 10 fundamental patterns, you will be able to recognize the roots of words by eradicating the affixes and diacritics. As with form 3, we already know that the infix alif is not part of the roots and cannot be anyway, because the letter undergoes a serious alteration. That includes its conversion into another form due to the required adjustments in the course of conjugation or derivation. Thus, alif is an unreliable radical for the roots. It evolves into a waw or a ya, and this is not acceptable by the root system. Let's draw a clearer image of my point with form 3 final weak verb laqa. Laqa. You lengthen the lam, la, and qaf, qa, to meet someone, to encounter, which ends with another form of alif called alif maqsura. Alif maqsura, shortened alif, that looks exactly like the final form of ya, stripped of dots, and strictly used at the end of words with the preceding fatha, acting as a long vowel, just like alif. So, what is the root of the verb laqa that corresponds to fa'ala, form 3? Good question. Since the verb ends with the weak consonants, the alif, you will have to examine its form 1, which is laqiya. Laqiya, from the roots laf, lam, qaf, ya. We conclude that the origin of alif maqsura is ya. So the root of laqa, since they share the same root, is lam, qaf, ya. Now, let's study how it conjugates in the past with different subject pronouns. So laqa. Laqa is form 1 verb. In the past first person singular ana, we know that ana requires the suffix to, but we said that alif maqsura can happen only at the end of words. As you know, we have 3 forms of letters: initial form, medial form, and final. As we said for the ya, the initial form is like this, and the middle is like this, and the final is like this. And the shortened alif is the one that looks like the final form of ya, but without dots. So before we attach the suffix to, we have to convert the alif maqsura into a ya, and we have to silence it. So laqay, so the sukun, don't forget, laqaytu, ana laqaytu, I met or I encountered. Ana laqaytu Layla is a female given name. في الحديقة في الحقيقة في الحديقة at the park. And you don't have to vocalize the last consonants toward the end of the sentence. في الحديقة. لقيت ليلى في الحديقة. I met Layla at the park. What about the second person, singular masculine? The two turns to ta with the fatha. And of course, the alif turns to a ya with the sukun. So أنا لقيت, أنت لقيت. And for the second person, singular feminine, what do we have to do? We have to add a kasra to the ta. لقيتي. To تأتي. أنا أنت أنتِ. هو, the basic form that comes together with the third person singular masculine. That subject's pronoun represents the basic form of verbs. So هو لاقى ليلى في الحديقة. What about its feminine version? With its feminine version, we have to eradicate the alif. لاقت. لاقت. Only add the ta with sukun. A silent ta. Here. لاقت. So the alif is gone. See? That's why the root system doesn't rely on alif. لاقت. Okay. What about the dual form? The dual form. Second person. Second person, masculine and feminine. أنتما. أنتما addressing both genders. لقيتما. As I said previously, you have to use this suffix of the subject's pronoun and add it to the stem. Again, we convert the alif into ya, we silence it, and then we add the tuma. أنتما لقيتما. Alright? What about third person? Dual masculine. For third person dual masculine, we have to, again, we have a conversion here. We convert the alif into ya and add the dual alif. And since the alif requires a preceding fatha, so the ya will carry it for it. La qaya. Huma. La qaya. And for feminine, what do we do? Here, with hiya, we just cancelled the alif. And we didn't convert it to ya or use it at all. We will do the same thing for dual. We will keep the ta and we add alif and the fatha. La qata. So huma la qaya, huma la qata. What about nahnu? The first person plural, masculine and feminine. Alright? It's, what do we use? The noon with alif. We know that nahnu is known for its noons. So we use the noon plus fatha followed by an alif. And of course we silence the last radical of the stem. Ya. لقينا. نحن لقينا ليلى في الحديقة. في الحديقة, at the park. What about أنتم? Second person, plural, masculine. أنتم لقيتم. See, the same suffix. أنتم لقيتم. And second person, plural, feminine. أنتن لقيتن. So if you memorize or if you know by heart the subject's pronouns, that would be helpful during the conjugation. Hum, third person, plural, masculine. Hum laqaw. So this waw with sukun followed by this alif, this wow needs some attention. Why? This wow is called the collective wow. A suffix together with this alif referring to the third person plural masculine. But we have to distinguish it from the original alif. What does it mean, the original alif? The one that is part of the verb as the third radical. So this alif is called the distinguishing alif that accompanies this the collective wow. So with the verb raja, for example, raja, meaning to wish for something to happen or to beg someone for something, to ask for something. From the root ra, jim, wow. So this alif turns to a wow. So if I say ana arju, ana, first person singular, the speaker, arju, arju is conjugated in the present tense, first person. So this wow is not followed by an alif, meaning that this is part of the verb. Alright? It's not the collective wow, as within this example. So the original wow is not followed by an alif, a distinguishing alif. Alright? Contrary to this collective wow that we use as a suffix for whom has to be followed by an alif to distinguish it from this original wow. So this is part of the verb and this is not. Alright? When you say arjuka, if we add the object pronoun referring to the second person singular, arjuka, ka or ki, or you don't have to vocalize that, it would work for both second person singular masculine and feminine. Ana arjuk means please, please. Alright? And hunna, third person, plural feminine. Hunna laqayna. Hunna laqayna. What if you want to attach a object pronoun to this form? Laqa. Laqa Layla fi al-hadiqa. So this Layla, this female given name, can be substituted by the object pronoun ha. Ha. Referring to the third person singular feminine. Ha. Her. So what do? We have to extend this shortened alif. Alright, it has to be reverted to its extended original form, the lengthened one. La qaha. La qaha. Alright? That's the way. And that's it for today. Take care. إلى اللقاء.